Hi there, and welcome to an overview of the BodiTrak2 Lite pressure mapping system. And we're going to do this in three steps. We're going to review the basics of the system, setting it up in particular, then an overview of how to use it to do a quick pressure assessment, and then lastly to review some settings. So we'll do that in three separate videos. BodiTrak2 was created as a lighter, easier to use for folks who are not necessarily involved in complex rehab settings or seating clinic settings, but are still concerned about protecting people's tissue, or perhaps posture and comfort issues are more also in the forefront there. So perhaps more like a long-term care environment with mixed care needs. And so we're just going to jump right in here. Assuming you've unboxed your system, you've got your tablet, you can fire that up. And then you can also take the battery pack that should have been in the packaging and connect it to the USB on the sensor, and that will start the CPU that's on board the sensor, and it will start to broadcast a Wi-Fi signal that we're going to connect to the tablet. And to do that, what we need to do is go to your settings, and in settings you're going to go to your wireless connection. And in the wireless connection, you can see right now it's got a list of them there. And if you wait about 20-30 seconds, you should see the seat mat come up on the list. And you can see it on the list here as BT21616. I'm going to click on that. And once you do that, it's going to ask for a password. And the password is on the label that's on the sensor. So, but the password is BODITR at and K. So it's BodiTrak, but with an at for the A. And I'll say connect. And once you've connected to it, please wait. Just don't move on, because there's another very important step that you need to go through here, and that's to ensure that you always can connect, because it's going to say, hey, I haven't connected to the internet. Do you really want to connect to this Wi-Fi connection? And the answer is yes, because we're directly connecting to the sensor with the tablet. So we'll say always connect. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our main screen, and we're going to choose the BodiTrak2 Lite icon. And in this case, I'm using an Android tablet, but you could also be using an iPad rather, or a smartphone to do this. It works on both configurations. So we launch it, and there I am sitting on a foam cushion in my office right now. So that's following those steps, very simple to set up, and then you're in business. And just to give you a quick little bit of orientation here, we have the color scale here on the right, 5 millimeters to 200 millimeters of mercury. And we have the typical pressure mapping heat map. Lower pressures are cooler, hotter pressures higher. You note there's a little square here, black square. That's where the USB cable comes out of the sensor. We normally recommend you do that along the right leg, right thigh, just so that you have a common practice, and if you share information with others, that's what they can understand as well. You have this black box here called that's related to the dispersion index, and you move this around to capture the ITs and the sacral area if you choose to use that. We'll talk about that in the settings. And you have some statistics down here, the dispersion index, peak pressure, contact, and coefficient variation. We'll talk about all those things as well in the next video. Up here you have, this is a pressure indicator. So it gives you the basic pressure mapping image that you're all probably used to seeing or will get used to seeing. And then you also have this one, which is called a gradient. So the gradient is a calculation of how fast pressure is changing across the surface. So where there's a peak pressure, you'll see the letters, the arrows rather, will get larger, and has an indication that it's changing over an area. If you're most of the time we recommend a pressure. If you do a good job dealing with pressure distribution, then shear and pressure gradient becomes a lesser issue. If you wish to change the orientation so that it's handier for you as a clinician working with it, the tool, this orientation might find a little bit easier to work with now as you face the patient, and you can orientate yourself that a little bit better. So that's just some of the general controls and capabilities of the system, and we'll go into more detail in the next video. Thank you.